Hey everyone! Every time I run the Soundole Chill Out cover competition, I end up so inspired by the talent and camaraderie within the VGM cover community. This year, we were treated to 75 amazing entries, running the gamut of instrumentations and styles. There were some brilliant works from people I consider my friends and colleagues, alongside plenty of pleasant surprises from channels that I hadn't heard of before this competition. As always, reducing the list of entrants to a set of prize winners was grueling, but I'm keen to talk about some of the videos that really left an impression on the judges. Before I get into that though, some quick thanks are due. Beau, Tran and Game Grooves have helped to fund this competition, and their contributions have made it far easier to offer a bigger prize pool. Thank you for keeping me off the streets. I'm also deeply indebted to my fellow judges, Laura Intravia, Lacey Johnson, and David Eric Ramos, who very generously donated many hours of their valuable time. Their perspectives and experience really helped to smooth the process of narrowing down a list of finalists. I also want to thank everybody who listened to the playlist of entries and commented on people's works, especially those dedicated people who commented on every single track. You really helped to make this community the vibrant and supportive place that it is. Lastly, and definitely not least, thank you so much to everyone that entered a track in this competition. Your work helps to make this community more artistically diverse, and the world is richer for your contributions. Alright, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's look at some amazing videos. While there are only 2 video production prizes in this competition this year, there were so many creative and diverse approaches to cinematography that it would be remiss of me to not mention at least a few more of them. Lots of artists used their videos to reinforce the emotive qualities of their tracks, but this poignant and wistful production by Rich GC was definitely one of the most convincing. This medley by Sarah Garrard mixed game footage with cosplay and contemplative B-reel to beautifully complement the themes of her arrangement. And I love how Murder of Crows matched their melancholic audio with shots straight out of a gothic rock music video. While Isaac Sylphonic's Room Full of Clones concept isn't new, his execution is astonishingly masterful. I didn't see a single masking glitch in this entire 7-minute video, even with players standing very close to each other and walking into the shot. That is a serious achievement. I really admire the effort put into this video by Adivarius Trad. His model village really lights up, that's so cool. And this comic book style presentation by Pacific Poem was something that I've never seen done before. This was such a creative way of reinforcing the structure of this arrangement. There's plenty more videos that deserve mention for their visual presentation, but for the sake of getting this video finished sometime in August, I'm going to move on to our first prize winner. Sometimes it's the simplest effects which take the longest to achieve. Anyone who has filmed outside knows how much difficulty that adds to video production. You suddenly have less control over exposure and lighting, the weather needs to be perfect, and if you're shooting in multiple locations, making those shots look cohesive and consistent can take a lot of time in post-production. But looking at this video by Luminous Music, you'd think it was easy. All his shots are beautifully colour and contrast matched, even between shots taken inside and outside. He's put real thought into making this video a complete work of art, where every aspect of its production feels warm and wholesome. This video was also my introduction to Luminous Music's channel, and talk about a strong first impression. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of his work in the future. There's so much to love about this video. Brendan uses his layouts to bring focus to salient musical parts, and there's so much reinforcement between musical and visual elements. I love how the rolling boulder effect is panned based on Yoshi's position on screen. The compositing of background and foreground graphics from the game looks fantastic, and helps to give the video a cohesive visual feel. Brendan's fantastic musical arrangement feels perfectly synced to his visual storytelling. All of the judges were stunned by the work that went into this production. Brendan's work goes from strength to strength. I feel like he's carved out a really personal aesthetic with his electric accordion work, and it's a style I'd love to see more of. Like I mentioned before, it was incredibly difficult to pare down our shortlists. There are some tracks which I absolutely adored, and which I can't fault in any way, that still aren't being mentioned in this video. That being said, here are 8 videos winning honourable mentions for their audio, which all the judges thoroughly enjoyed. This track by Ario takes the original work in such a satisfying new direction. I found it reminiscent of some of the great atmospheric works by Brian Eno. Excellent patch choices and mixing have produced an ambient dreamscape that just carried me away on a synthesized cloud. Guitar SVD produces truly masterful guitar arrangements. Any work that he arranges sounds like it was conceived first for his instrument. This track feels like a passionately performed classical etude, showcasing prodigious dexterity and control over voicings. It's hard to believe that D Major only has 4 videos on his YouTube channel, because he is hitting with the heavyweights. This cover showcases tight performance, thoughtful details, and perfect mixing. Gamer of the Winds has always been a top-notch instrumentalist, but it has been such a pleasure to see him ramp up his production work in the last few years. His cover of Lower Brinstar is a sumptuous, flowing rhapsodic odyssey. The extended solo section is a masterclass in instrumental dialogue and thematic development. In this video, DS Music arranges the Poke Village theme in a variety of pianistic styles, chaining these statements together into a cohesive journey with virtuosity and expressivity. It marvellously showcases his skills as a consummate arranger and performer. This cover just barely missed out on a podium place. Monish Corona's spacious arrangement perfectly matched his heartfelt lyrics. This is such a sweet, moving, and emotionally earnest production. While we were assessing video and audio separately, the beachside shots here perfectly reinforce the song's themes too.
Even so, my precious memories seem a bit hollow. I feel
JD Wynn's video is proof that you don't need to make an expansive 7-minute long production to impress us. It's a simple idea with elegant execution, featuring expressive performances from everyone involved. JD Wynn's flute, clarinet, and saxophone textures are so smooth and sumptuous. I'm glad he's such an active collaborator, because those wind chords are a treat wherever they show up. Beanbop's cover is just so full of warmth and life. This is the musical equivalent of a cold glass of lemonade on the beach. The texture is full of sweet little interjections between parts, with plenty of attention paid to balance and mixing. This was a delightful introduction to Beanbop's channel. I hope you'll join me in congratulating these brilliant musicians. Please don't be hurt if your video didn't make the cut, because competition was incredibly fierce this year, and there's a bunch of videos that it's really breaking my heart to exclude. Let's move on and see what the audience picked as their favourite. This year's Audience Choice winner won in a landslide. Let's have a listen. Where do you even start with this monster of an arrangement? Abandoned Quest is a relatively young channel that came out of nowhere and knocked our socks off. There are captivating details in every musician's parts, and not a moment of this feels like it sits back and coasts. The comping, bass and percussion has just as much attention put into every moment as the soulful lead parts. I'm really looking forward to hearing more of this band's work, because their synergy and aesthetic intuition is not something that you come across every day. Congratulations, Abandoned Quest. I hope this competition has helped to introduce a new audience to your fine music. Now, I'm excited to reveal the podium winners for this year's competition. Sit back and let these mellow sounds wash over you. Elazul451 is another relatively young channel on YouTube, but this cover is clearly the work of a thoughtful musical veteran. When the drum and bass groove drops, it's a sublime moment. The detailed and nuanced accompaniment supports a variety of beautifully expressive solos, and it never feels like there's a note or instrument out of place. In my opinion, this track is simply the best it could possibly be. By the end of it, the listener has been taken on a complete journey, witnessing some of the best production in this competition. Congratulations, Elazul451. Thank you for introducing me to your work and sharing this transportative groove with us all. Yep, it's this crew again. This is the first time in the history of this competition that a video has won more than one of the major prizes. I've already mentioned some of the big things that make this track amazing to me, so let's do something different. I'm going to play just a little 15-second section of it a few times, and each time I want you to focus on a different part of what the band is doing. So why don't we start listening to the percussion? Notice how all parts of the kit are perfectly balanced. There's a beautiful gentle rocking to the accents on the hi-hats, and the chimes and cymbal rolls peak at just the right moment for a fill between the phrases. Alright, let's go again, and this time try to listen to what the bass and guitar are doing. So notice how perfectly warm the instrument sounds are? And do you hear all the little comping embellishments that never get in the way of each other? That is not trivial to achieve. Okay, one last time. Pay attention to the piano now. What you just heard is jaw-droppingly masterful. The chordal accompaniment swells with the flute to back up the melody line, and introduces creative melodic interjections between the phrases that also complement the other bass and guitar parts. I'm just awestruck. The piece goes on for 7 minutes with this level of care and detail. It's no wonder Abandoned Quest have taken 2 awards in this year's competition. It is very well deserved. Unlike many of the channels you've seen highlighted in this video, this year's grand prize winner was no stranger to me, probably no stranger to you, and definitely no stranger to this competition. Please join me in congratulating them. From the first sumptuously harmonised chords of Jordan's track, he proves that there's still plenty of potential to explore new ground with this standard of the VGM repertory. This arrangement uses the euphonium quartet to its fullest, with writing that elegantly transitions from delicate to virtuosic, with an almost cinematic approach to scoring. While the arrangement itself is very praiseworthy, it's all backed up by Jordan's unbelievable instrumental skill. If euphonium playing gets any better than this, I'm yet to hear it. He covers technical passages with ease, and provides a perfect model of thoughtful phrase shaping and vibrato use. This cover is a treat from start to finish. Thank you, Jordan. It's always a pleasure to hear you play, and I'm so glad you could be part of this competition again. That brings this year's proceedings to a close. Putting together the script for this video has been a joy. It's been a chance to fall in love with these covers all over again. This competition really is the most valuable work that I do, and I'm grateful for everyone that helps to make it happen. Thank you so much to everyone that took part. Look out for an email from me soon with the judges' feedback and any prize details. I hope you'll be able to join me again for the Soundole Chill Out cover competition in 2022. Take care, I'll catch you soon.